I think there's opportunities for buyers out there right now. And I agree. I mean, getting back to it, because it's dovetails into the question that you just asked prior to this, Chad, or the poll. Like, I'm a buyer of sport. I mean, when is our content has never been more needed than it is now. If you love sports, I mean, think about your day and your life as it stands today. Any sport that they put on is getting record ratings, even if it's literally like, I mean, anybody that watched the Last Dance in the U.S. with Michael Jordan or across the world, you know, the engagement levels for that. If you look at it, like 72% of brands still want to extend sports sponsorships. If you look at all these content companies, if they didn't have sports, what would they be? So for me, like I'm probably more bullish. I worked for the Dallas Cowboys from 2007 to 2009. Was probably the worst time, you know, arguably in the world. And we broke a ton of revenue records. We did $600 million in seat licenses, and the next highest, or the previous highest, was $150 million. You know, $20 billion got spent from, call it, 2008 to 2014 or 15 when you look at new stadia across the country. And so infrastructure went on a boom. Look, I don't, you know, does that happen right away? Probably not. But I think Colin's right. I mean, if you have dry powder and you love sports, there will be opportunities out there for people. And I just believe that fans will come back.
I think, as is always the case in European football, they're the haves and the have-nots. You know, certain groups that have incredible balance sheet and firepower based on their ownership, and certain groups that are less well capitalized. It's pretty ugly, to be honest, across some of these leagues in terms of the liquidity situation right now. I think, thankfully, a lot of the broadcasters have been working with the leagues to make those payments. But yes, this will be a buyer's market without a doubt, especially on the football side. You know, especially player transfer revenue, and a lot of these streams that clubs relied on won't be there for the near term. So, yeah, I think this is a great buying opportunity. I still believe, as Massimo said, in the long-term potential of these clubs, and you have to think of them as long-term potential. But as always, when you go through situations like we are in right now, the strong typically get stronger. So, yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to be out there.
I'm seeing more focus on women's athletics than ever. Look at, you know, the Athletes Unlimited platform that's recently been launched by a friend of ours, John Patrickoff. I've seen 3 business plans in the last 2 weeks for women-focused digital media platform. So, you know, from an activity perspective, I think, you know, never seen more activity around it. And, you know, as we move from a consumption culture perspective to a more one-on-one and personalized and technology-driven consumption pattern, that opens up more and more channels through which connect.